Last time out, we left things off with us being approached by Forest Green for the third time in the summer window, and this is the one time I think I have to accept the offer because it's such a good offer, and I'd feel annoyed if I don't take it on myself now. So, we're now going to accept this offer from Forest Green, and we're going to negotiate the wage a little bit because while the transfer budget and the wage budget are great, I want more money for myself. And they've added no clauses to relegation, so they're just going to be a one-year deal. Can I get up to 1.2 grand a week? Okay, 875,000. How about 1.2 grand? A bit more. 950? Alright, I'll work with that. £875 a week is 100. Okay, I can work with this. £875 a week is still £250 a week more than what we're going to get at Brackley. And yeah, it's interesting that we got the offer. So let's do this now and let's accept the offer. So here we are now, effectively here at Forest Green Rovers with a new move. It's the first I've ever managed Forest Green myself, which is very interesting, and I think we are doing well. We have brought in 3 more people with us: Phil Jagielka, Megan Reid, and Kevin Foley with us as we move from Brackley to take our backroom staff with us. While we've got rid of Joe Baker and Alfie Sparks because I don't think they were as good as I hoped they would be. So let's go over this in full detail. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Sol Jensen has left Brackley Town to join Forest Green. Jensen arrives with a record of 45 wins, 19 draws and 20 defeats in his career. He also won a league title. Jensen will face pressure to bring immediate success to the Bolt New Lane, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, and will need to hit the ground running if he is to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Tigran Tadevsovian was considered the favourite for the job, but it is unclear whether the job favoured Jensen all along. Brackley Town will be looking for a new manager. Phil Jagielka, Megan Reid and Kevin Foley would join Sol Jensen in making the move from Brackley Town as he assembles his new backroom team. Meanwhile, Joe Baker and Alfie Sparks have exited the club as part of Jensen's changes. Jensen, a Vanarama National League North Manager of the Season winner in 2024, brings a blend of experience and proven credentials with him to his new job. Jensen has earned himself a reputation for wanting his teams to dominate possession and appears to be a great fit for the club's current vision at the Bolt New Lawn. Jensen prefers to use a 4-3-3 DM wide formation. Jensen left the Vanarama National League North with Brackley Town in May and will be afforded the chance to enhance his reputation by bringing success to his new club. Forest Green were relegated from the Sky Bet League 1 after losing their last 5 league games of the season, which I think tells you why they need a new manager and why I was brought in to save their skins and to get them back to League 1. We do have the Eco Park, which we're going to move in next year, so that's going to be interesting to say the least. James Beattie is our assistant manager, and whether or not Beattie is that great will have to be decided. And he's got good coaching attributes, but not great judging ability and potential. So we need to work on that potentially. We have Steve, who I'm definitely happy with, and Gloucester City, who we destroyed in the FA Cup last year, are the club's fierce rivals. So we've already won some favour into the hearts of the fans this year. Still, last year they were knocked out of the EFL Cup in the first round, the FA Cup in the first round, and the second southern section of the EFL Trophy, and finished just 22nd place in League 1. I've had a few things I've looked at for this team, like this apparently is their best formation. I'm going to get rid of a load of these players because I think they're on too much money, and I've got to cap the wages. McCann, though, I think is a player I need to keep hold of this year. Bakayoko is their top goal scorer with 11 goals, but that's not a good sign when you're playing this many games this year. Butterworth is leaving this team at the end of the season because his loan spell ends, so there's that. And yeah, this is why I'm excited for this team. They want me to get promoted straight away back to League 1. And then apparently we call it top half finish in League 1, which very ambitious, very bold, but it's exciting. It's a challenge. I like this sort of challenge. And hopefully we can do a lot of things here. Apparently we need to get the better of our rivals Cheltenham and Gloucester City if we take on Gloucester City at any point. But Cheltenham, that's a big thing. And I feel like that, yes, we can do that. And yeah, this is a new thing for me. I haven't actually taken charge of a new team to save yet, but the fact we've got a 53% win ratio is nice, and it's the first move. It's the first time I've done a journeyman in FM23. I just think it's interesting that we've got this opportunity right now to try something else. Apparently this guy was the favourite of the job, the Woking manager. Okay, fair enough. So the squad plan is going to be great for this sort of thing because I need to know where I need to improve, and immediately I found a problem, and these are their best 3 goalkeepers. Gonna be blunt, this is the worst case scenario, and we now know where we need to improve the team. The fact that this guy is our best goalkeeper, I'm sorry, Lee, but you're kind of rubbish for this division. My backroom team agree with me with this assessment. A good National League player, no less, and you were playing in League One last year. No wonder this team struggled. We have now got a lot of these right backs who need to improve. Again, the National League player, were you a centre back or wing back last year? You looked like a wing back. He looks like a centre back who could play wing back, and I don't know what to make of it. But apparently he's a centre back. He also wants to leave anyway. So 3.9 grand. He is a League One player, but do I keep him is my question. I think I'd sell this guy for money. As long as we get good money, like around the 650,000 kind of money, we can sell this guy. This guy's definitely a right back though. And he also wants to leave. 3.9 grand. Again, he's only a decent player for League One. So I got to figure out a few things here. He also got suspended in the last match, so he's definitely not a very good defensive player. And we need to work on a few things, I think. Robertson, not good enough. Bunker, not good enough. Grant, absolutely not good enough. Should not even be in the first team at all. Robson wants to leave due to relegation. I think I get to clear out the entire squad here. 4.7 grand a week. Absolutely, you need to go. I'll happily show you the door if you want. This guy is also able to play both sides. I'm finding my problems here. I like the fact I'm finding this a problem where most players want to leave. This guy's wanted by Bradford and Wimbledon, and he's 25. Backup only. Zane, not anywhere close good enough. Why is he even in this team? So McCann is the best player, but he wants to leave. He's also on 3 grand a week. If there's one person I could probably build this team around, it's Charlie McCann. He could play both the DM position and he could play centre midfield, but he's definitely the player I could build the team around if I convince this guy to stay. The fact he's only on 3 grand a week is probably a good sign. Doesn't like big matches, but he's a League One player and he's a good penalty taker. I could pretty much replace the entire squad if I need to here, and that's a good sign, I feel, with the money we could potentially get for these players. Stevenson wants to leave due to relegation, won by Cardiff. 1.7 grand a week actually isn't that bad for his money, so he actually is probably one of the very few players that I literally would think good player for the money he's on. Richie Smallwood, 2.8 grand a week, wants to leave. Decent player. I'm not sure if I'd actually use him if I'm completely honest with you. So there you go. Little, not good enough. So I'm finding the problem here with these players is they're either not good enough or they're on too much money or they want to leave. And it's not fine, to say the least. Not good enough on too much money. I wouldn't even pay a player in the National League that much money in the first place. Okay, so Patterson, the guy I found earlier, 5.5 grand a week, a League 2 player only. I'm probably going to sell this guy. Doesn't want to leave though, but I'm probably going to sell him. Where did he sign? In January. He didn't even did he just sign? I think he just signed. Hang on, let me just check. He's literally just signed. Who's in charge at this point? Who's in charge and gave him this much money? They didn't have a manager at this point. So whoever was in charge of the transfer at that point paid 12 grand to get this guy in and is offered 5.5 grand a week in wages. I'm a little annoyed right now. I want him off the books immediately. Okay, so left wing, he'll be playing there for next year. Jordan Garrett wants to leave on 4 grand a week. League One player, yes, but 4 grand a week and would only be inverted for me, so there you go. Okay, so this kid wants to leave. He's not good enough for Division, but he would be good enough for League 2. He's one of those players that actually be fitting the profile I'd want, but he's also on too much money, I think, at this point in time. Oh, okay, we're finding problems now. So let's look at the striker. Wait, this guy was the striker last year. No, this guy was the striker last year? Oh, no wonder they're struggling. Good lord. He's a National League player. I've got a lot of work, I fear. We'd like to sort this out. Huh, okay. That's a problem. That is a problem. Cool. I'm going to have to revamp this entire squad, aren't I? and find a way to get rid of Patterson. I don't want Patterson in my squad. I am so annoyed that I just realized this guy signed. I delayed for twice, right? 14 days. Was he here before or after? This guy would have been signed after I got the first offer, so I would have turned this down if I had the opportunity to. Okay, that's awkward. But this guy is leaving on his loan spell. He's on 3.4 grand a week anyway. Would I have signed him again? Yeah, as a striker, honestly. I'll probably get this guy as a striker, but there you go. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is sell a lot of players, I think. Finances, 2.5 million. We can work with this. I don't know where they're getting all this money from. Like 2.5 mil. Where did they get this from? Can I check? Sponsorship. Okay, how much sponsorship have they got? 3 million. Oh, wow. They actually got 3 million. This team's really good, I think. This is a good team, I've just realized, to join. Yeah, so they'll be fine financially for a bit. 3 million sponsorship. That's a lot more money than I was expecting. How much were we paying wages-wise compared to the entire league? I got to check this out. 13th. Okay, 13th. That's going to be sliced down, I think. We've got to slice this down a little bit. So, ideally, we'd spend less money on wages than we would have sponsorship money. So that's the dream right now to deal with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is jump forward a few days to the season resets, the league resets, and we'll see from there what we need to do and how much the wages drop. Because I want to see if we need to do a lot of changes after a certain point. But I feel like wages-wise, most of the players are on too much money, but if they drop enough, I might be able to keep most of them. But at the same time, I feel like we can get away with a bit more, potentially, if we just do better. The fact this team only won 7 times last year is the problem. They barely scored a goal. And if they wanted goals, they've come to the right person. They got 40 goals last year. Not very good for this division, but it was not the worst. They just didn't have the best defenses either. So if we can fix a lot of things this year that the team needed to work on, then I think we'll be fine. So let's see what we can do. Oh, and also most of these players want to leave or go to a bigger club, so that's going to be fun. We'll have to work on that a bit later, I think. I just realized we need to get a load of people in, so let's get some new scouts and let's make sure we get some recruitment analysis in. We got to get a head of sports scientist and a sports scientist as well. So we'll get those roles filled up quickly and we'll work from there, I think. They want Bunker on loan. Yeah, you can have him on loan. I'm not going to use him at all. So yeah, absolutely. If you want him on loan and you want to make him an important player, the fact you're not a division is a bit strange that you're doing that, but I'll take it either way. Fair enough. Clearly, you're not as smart as you think you are. So let's now do the press conference for our first time. How does it feel to be the new Forest Green manager? I'm pleased to be given the chance to manage this club and want to get down to business as quickly as possible. In leaving your previous job to take over Forest Green, you disappointed a number of Brackley Town supporters. Do you regret that? Of course I do. Football's like that at times. And I'd like to apologise to them, but hopefully they also understand my reasons for moving on. Forest Green targeted you as their #1 choice and clearly felt you were the outstanding candidate for the job. What do you bring to the table? I'm going to bring in hard work and dedication to the table and leave no stone unturned in my quest for success right from day one. You were able to cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere at your last job. Will that be helpful to you in your new role? It's imperative. We need to be unified in our approach every single day, from the training pitch to the stadium, if we're to realise our dreams. This is a big step up for you. Are you nervous about taking on the role? I don't get nervous at all. I feel quite calm. Okay, so the stature of the club has fallen, that's fine. So I'm going to look at this and I want to see where we are, because it feels like we're not as high as I thought it would be. Weirdly enough, and actually probably not weird enough, ironically enough, I can just stand who I turned down have a big reputation than Forest Green, but I feel like this Forest Green job is probably the better one for me, because they made a point to come to me and pretty much make me feel like their biggest target, the big target that they wanted, that I was 100%. As soon as they finished the interview, just 2 days later, they came to me and said, we want you as our manager. That makes me feel more justified in this move. Even if we don't have the bigger reputation in the league, I can still work with that. I feel like I can absolutely make sure this is going to be in my favor 100%. Okay, so I'm going to release these 3 players because I don't think they're really good enough for what we're looking for, and even our background staff agree. So, decent player for League 2, not good enough if we want to be promoted. National League player, not good enough at all for this division. And St. Lucas, decent player, a good player for the National League. Again, not good enough for what we're looking for. So we're going to release all 3 players and make a point of saying, look, you're just not good enough. You gotta go. So let's look at the review, and we weren't the biggest underachievers. That was Exeter City, who were expected to be 14th place. So there's that, I suppose. Gary Caldwell was their manager, and he got sacked. So that was in October. Okay. Apparently these are the best signings, and understandably, none of them were for us. So we got to work on that, I think, going forward. And we got 8.25 grand for use of domestic under 21 players. All right, cool. Okay, so now in League 2, which is fine. We can work with this. Reach the playoffs. That's what I was hoping would be the case. And reach the knockout stage of the EFL trophy. Okay, so we're now here. I'm waiting for things to happen. So we're expected to be 2nd place with this team we have. Okay, that's interesting. McCann is on international duty with Northern Ireland. He wants to leave, though. He's also got 2-match suspension, which is not surprising. Northern Ireland, are they doing anything? No, they played twice, they lost twice. Never mind. McCann's just not played for them at all. Yeah, they're getting knocked out, aren't they? This is awkward. How on earth are Bosnia doing so well? They've beaten Norway and Northern Ireland. If they beat Spain or draw against Spain, then Spain could be out. That'd be fascinating, wouldn't it? And Goodwin Malafi is the other person that is considered the key player for this division. A good League 1 player, so I'm not shocked by that. He is wanted by Plymouth, mind you, and he wants to leave. Here's a clause of 1.3 million. Yeah, activate that, he's yours. You've got to activate it if you want him. He would be happy with that, though. That's interesting. Okay, so I can get some offers in for them, which would be fun. McCann, okay, the players have lost wages then. Cool. So they're only over the wage budget by £1,000 now, which is still better than nothing. And oh, I've got to look at this now. This is going to be painful, isn't it? Oh, why is Patterson here still? Can I offer him out? He's only just signed. Oh my God, you idiots. You absolute idiots. I'm disappointed with this move because of the fact they signed him afterwards and didn't put a thing in to say that he can get released. We're paying him 8.7% of our wages. If we didn't have him, we'd be fine with the wages already, for goodness sake. Okay, so they say I've made several players unhappy. Nah, that's not me. That is someone else. Thank you. But at least the atmosphere is better now, which is weird to say the least, but there you go. So this guy wants to leave Northampton, and he's good enough for our division apparently, according to Steve. But he's 28. I don't want that kind of talent, to be honest with you, but if I was to compare him to Patterson, can you see why I'm annoyed with what they did to bring Patterson in? Can you see why I'm a little annoyed right now? He just completely eclipses Patterson. So long as Patterson's here, I'm going to have to try and get rid of him. Patterson is not good enough for my ambition and plans. He's great, don't get me wrong, but he's not my kind of great. He's not the great that I'm looking for. And the money he's on, it's just insultingly stupid that they've actually done this. I'm not going to use him to the level they want me to. And for my ambition, he's too slow. And he's on too much money. He's definitely more of an attacking midfielder. I don't use attacking midfielders. So they've wasted my time with him. I just love the fact that we actually have the best sponsored income in the entire league, though, despite being relegated. So there you go. So I'm going to look at the National League because I don't think they would have made a signing since I left, because I would have been in control of all of that and they would have been hindered otherwise. So no, there's no signings that Brackley have made since we last left them. And 20th place of predictors actually is not as bad as I think it would be. So if anything, they're quite good, despite the fact I made no signs before I left, because I don't want to hinder their progress and anything else. But yeah, Brackley look like a decent little team here. Fair enough. I think I've done quite good with Brackley Town, and if they stay up, they've done well. If they go down, they could probably blame me for that. But what I'm going to do is end this here. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys like and share this video, and that you also subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a lot. What do you think of my move with this new team? How on earth do I get rid of Patterson? And should I be disappointed if I don't get promoted as champions this season? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of that down below. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.